What's up, guys and girls? It's GhostRobo. Today I'm telling you my new most anticipated game of 2016. I went into E3 really ready for Horizon Zero Dawn, really ready for For Honor to capture my heart the second half of 2016. Well, both those games got delayed till 2017, so there was a void, and I needed a brand new title to occupy that special spot of my most anticipated game for the rest of the year. I had some hopes that Mass Effect Andromeda would be launching this year. That didn't make it. And so there were a slew of great games that had a chance at making their play for this title. Would it be Titanfall 2? Would it be Mafia 3? Watch Dogs 2? What would it be? Let me tell you. It ended up being none of the ones I thought it would be. And in fact, ended up being a game that I didn't expect to like a whole lot, and that is The Last Guardian. I got to play about 30 to 40 minutes of The Last Guardian, and it is magical. I can still hear the little boy calling Trico. It instantly grabbed me. It took me out of the environment I was in, which was a super loud, super bustly, super busy E3, and really just roped me into this world of the boy and the Guardian, who is the big bird, dog, chicken monster creature, and their interactions are just special. Like, that team over there, whether it was Shadow of the Colossus or Eco, and now The Last Guardian, they know how to craft games that physically convey emotion. They're able to mechanically deliver some sort of sentiment, and I think that's insanely special. To me, this is looking like my next Last of Us or my next Uncharted 4, and not from the gameplay standpoint, but from the emotional impact and from the story impact and from my desire to be a part of that world. The world built in The Last Guardian feels super well thought out, super genuine. And I didn't see a whole lot of the game, obviously, just a small, simple section. But what I really liked was how tactile and hands-on the game is. You can grab on to the Guardian. You can pull spears out of his back. You can climb up him, but you got to watch out because he starts with armor on and a chain around his neck, and he's not very happy to see you. And, those opening scenes, I presumably played the beginning of the game, when the Guardian is knocking the boy back because he doesn't want anything to deal with him, are heartbreaking. And then when you finally figure out what to do to feed him and sort of gain his trust and build your bond, almost like a real animal, it felt just amazing. And it had that magical sense that you would feel if you were really bonding with an animal, bonding with a dog or a cat or something that we're more accustomed to. But instead it's this big creature. And yet they're able to convey so many of the same moments and mindsets of animals that we have come to know. So when there's a big pool of water and the Guardian's afraid to jump down, we've seen that, and it feels natural and it feels relatable. And when he finally does jump down and splashes everywhere and the boy laughs and gets kind of overwhelmed, that's relatable. And when the bird, dog, chicken creature follows him up a cliff or joins him rushing outside a building, or when the boy wants him to go away and he won't, and when the boy's calling for him and he decides just to lay down and sleep instead, it all is relatable, and it feels so immersive because of how genuine it comes across. And this is a completely fictional world with a completely fictional creature, and inevitably a fictional game and world where things probably are going to get a little crazy, a little either spiritual or magical, and nonetheless it still will feel organic and extraordinary and relatable because of how amazing they are at crafting systems that, like I mentioned, convey emotion. So I'm insanely excited for The Last Guardian. I don't know that it sells a lot. It's really crafted and carved out its own sort of style of game that I don't think appeals to everyone. But if you're into that kind of thing, and that kind of thing being great emotional stories, this one doesn't have a whole lot of telling, but a lot of showing, and in a way that's more powerful, and you get to be the main player and the main conveyor of that story because your interaction with the Guardian is what is dictating your experience and what is filling in the character sheets for the Guardian and for the boy, because you're going to add your own emotion, your own thoughts, your own likes and dislikes and desires and past experiences with animals and life to these characters and sort of form your own boy and your own Guardian. I also think graphically it's really cool to see the 3D creature and the more cel-shaded boy, how they clash and how they also unite. It's very interesting and a very stark and lovely style. It definitely doesn't look as pretty or as clean and crisp as something like God of War or Detroit Become Human, but it looks good enough to definitely be a major AAA title. Like I said, I don't know if the sales numbers will reflect it, but it is a game that delivers on story and delivers on really tactile gameplay. It's something that I always like in games and felt we've gone away from as we go to more of the supernatural, more of the superhuman, but games where they focus on turning doorknobs or games where they focus on picking things up. That has sort of shifted to the indie scene, but here you're focused on grabbing on to Trico and climbing him and grabbing. Every time you jump, you have to grab ledges. And sure, there's some cumbersome moments where you get kind of all tripped up and you'll awkwardly jump and not grab and fall, or grab and not jump, and your character kind of looks like he's a 4-year-old who hasn't figured out which limbs do what. But when it works so well, and it seems like it's going to be a great journey game, a great adventure game. In the trailers, it eventually looks like there's some stealth or maybe even combat mechanics. In the trailer, we see 2 of the Guardians, so who knows how that plays out. Sorry, guys, recording this super late at night. But I think it's going to turn out to be really like a very defining game of the generation. It really seems to have that special quality where I just wanted to sit there and play so much more of it. And I think it's a game that's going to need time to really grow on you, because the first 10-15 minutes I was like, you know what, like maybe we should just not play the entire demo and go do something else. There's so much to see at E3. But I gave it a chance because I know the pedigree of the developers, and I know that this is really Sony's big exclusive for the fall, so they must believe in it. And rightfully so. Sorry. Rightfully so, because it has turned out very well. And for all the delays and for all the pushbacks and the is it real, is it not real, it's real and it's really good. So I think that is going to be, honestly, a Game of the Year contender. And sure, we'll have to see if all of that emotion and all of that impact can carry across, 6, 7, 8 hours, however long that game is. But it's very exciting to think of the possibilities in terms of puzzle solving and in terms of character bonding and eventual emotional moments. Something tragic is going to happen in that game. But early on, you're climbing on the beast, you're feeding him. You get this sort of shield that you can direct. And then by directing it, Trico, the Guardian, whatever you want to call him, will fire lightning out of his tail. So instantly you're breaking down rock walls and wood walls and physics. And I assume eventually you'll use that to sort of puzzle solve and maybe navigate some more complex rooms. Use a lot of hopefully different moves that the Guardian has to manipulate the world around you. And if the boy maybe sort of grows up himself and gains some skills or the ability to sort of contribute to the puzzle solving, that would be really, really cool as well. But there's just something special and magical about that bond between boy and big bird-like creature that you don't see in any other game, really. I don't know who else does this. And in the same way that Naughty Dog is able to be delicately craft these masterful stories, I feel like Team Ico is able to delicately craft these masterful gameplay bonding experiences, these emotions and impact through mechanics, which I don't know if there's anyone else doing that really in that specific way. Most people are using the plot medium to drive their emotion and drive their storytelling, and here it's like using gameplay to drive that, which I think is spectacular. And so that is my most anticipated game. A lot of games came close. I do think Mafia 3 looks really great. I think Titanfall 2 looks really great. A lot of the games I'm most excited for after E3 are 2017, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mass Effect Andromeda, For Honor, God of War 4, Detroit Become Human, Injustice 2, Yooka-Laylee. But of the 2016 slate, I think Watch Dogs 2, Mafia 3, and The Last Guardian are sort of the tentpole ones that I'm most looking forward to. And of course, there's some other good stuff thrown in there. There's ReCore, there's Gears of War 4, there's the inevitable slew of sports games, and there'll be Pokemon Sun and Moon, which I think will be fun to have a very, it seems like a little bit of a different Pokemon with a fresh world and fresh monsters. But honestly, The Last Guardian is the game that impressed me the most at E3, and outside of Zelda Breath of the Wild was my favorite hands-on that I had, and I was just overjoyed by how sweet and innocent the boy was, and how natural the creature felt. Even though it's something that defies science and logic, it felt like a living, breathing being. And I think that experiencing that Bond on a nice TV in the comfort of my home is going to be an incredible experience this fall, and one I'm looking forward to immensely. Let me know in the comments below if you're excited for The Last Guardian. I'm trying to think if there's anything I forgot. The world is beautiful. There's definitely a mystical, almost like ancient ruins quality to the game, and I don't know why this boy is there. He says something about he's off plane, and then he wants to leave Trico and have Trico not follow him, but Trico does follow, and then the demo ended, and so I'm guessing something's going to happen when the boy returns to the village, and he'll have to journey out with Trico. But they captured all of it so well, and the boy and Trico already formed a bond in 30 minutes, and I bonded with both of them, and I love the way the boy just calls Trico. Like, it's... I know it sounds simple, and I know it sounds silly, but I promise you, like, it gives me chills just hearing that, because it's... I don't know, there's something so innocent and pure about that game and about those two characters, and I think that is going to really capture the hearts of gamers all over this fall. So let me know what you think of The Last Guardian. Let me know what your most anticipated game for 2016 is. I know there's lots of great stuff in 17, but let's focus really intently on 2016 here. Let me know in the comments below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Really means a lot to me. And I've been trying to do a lot of impressions and analysis from E3. I'm going to be doing this for more games and more news and more things going on, kind of how I did in the past, like PS4 versus Xbox One, Xbox Scorpio, and now games with God of War and Last Guardian and Zelda and Mafia and things like that. So, sorry for the yawns. I'm recording this late. Had to get it up and ready for this weekend for you guys because I really wanted to share what was one of my favorite experiences of E3 2016. So thanks so much. Until next time, drink so much, love, and fantastic day. I love you all. And soon we're going to love the Guardian and the boy. Until that time, though, thanks again. Drink so much chocolate. We will see you all later.